It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Hey, today I want to talk about something that's kind of near and dear to me, and I see it all the time inside the imaging channel. We see it in other reseller channels as well. But that's the appeasement to keeping things the way they are. In other words, we know that we got to do some disruptive things, but we don't quite want to be so disruptive. It seems like we got a whole lot more politicians in play than we do disruptors. You know, the political science, well, we want to keep everybody happy. We want to take things really slow. We don't want to really cause any disruption. And I got to tell you something, my friends. Innovation is not about your product. Innovation is about your boldness to take new processes to market to disrupt the old way. Because innovation is always about a process. It's not about a product. We see a lot of companies out there, and they got some products they're working on. Man, we're going to disrupt the market. We're going to come to market and just raise holy hell with it. We got a whole new product, a whole new software package. But then they take 2 or 3 years to bring it to market, and by the time they actually get to market, what they bring is almost obsolete. Folks, it's boldness. It's those that are willing to stand up for the customer. It's those that are willing to change the processes for the better of the customer. That's innovation. That's disruption. You know, and I think it was Winston Churchill. Well, I know it was because here's his quote. Winston says, an appeaser, one who feeds a crocodile hoping it will eat him last. In other words, what's the appeasement in the imaging channel? It's all these consultants. It's all these analysts telling everybody what they want to hear instead of what they need to hear. It's all these consultants and all these analysts, you know, going against the realities of market, trying to appease status quo, because status quo is the tyrant that we're all trying to appease. There's another famous quote out of England around this time, World War II. Here it is right here. I'll read it for you if you can't read it. It says, Miss May, appeasement doesn't work with tyrants. Just ask Chamberlain. My friends, the tyrant for the imaging channel is the status quo complacency ecosystem that's sitting there. It's a tyrant, and we have to destroy it. And the only way we're going to destroy that damn thing is to crash through the wall. We got to crash through the wall, and when you crash through a wall, guess what? You're being disruptive. You're not going to do this by playing politics. You're not going to do this by trying to make everybody feel good. You're going to do this by looking where the customer's going and doing everything in your power to help the customer get where he's going quicker, to help the customer receive those desired outcomes with a better process than anybody else has. It's not about some fancy new software. It's not about some fancy new gadget. It's not about apps on copy machines. It's about what's the process that's best aligned with the customer. And it sure as hell isn't A3. It sure as hell isn't overspecking. It's delivering product that match the customer's needs or desired outcomes. Being customer-centric. We all know this. The problem is, this is scary. We don't want to bash through a wall. Instead, what most of us want to do, well, I'll show you what they want to do. They want to hang around in the pasture of least resistance. This was its own topic of mine. But we got all these executives hanging out in the pasture of least resistance, hoping that, you know, nothing's going to change till I retire. I'm so sick of hearing that. And I know there's a lot of leaders in the industry that have heard that before. Someone will come up to them and say, man, we really got to be doing this. We really got to be going in the direction of the customer. Yeah, but we could hang on a little bit longer. Let's just hang out in this pasture of least resistance, and hopefully we can retire before the real change comes. Folks, this is killing our industry. We have people that are taking too long to bring things to market. We have more legacy way. You know, I've always been critical of the legacy way sometimes too much. But I got to be honest with you. I see more legacy players being more innovative by changing their processes than I see the new way. You see the new way, they might have a great product, but boy, they have no boldness. They have no determination to crash through a wall. They just want to be politically correct all the time. They want to appease everybody. The problem with that is it ain't doing anybody any good. And then we see these old way. You know, I think of my friends at BEI Services, now called Next Era. First of all, they had the boldness to change their name to align with their future goals, talking about the next era of imaging. They took that software package and constantly modified along the way. They're showing dealers how to use data in ways that maybe 5 or 6 years ago were incomprehensible. They continue to move the ball. Folks, I got to tell you something. It's not just the new product. It's not just this new company. It's the processes that will innovate our channel. And it will be when people get the hell out of the pasture of least resistance and start fighting for the customer. You got to be the damn disruptor. We're in a declining market. We're on the other side of the bell curve. And it's time we had a whole lot more people crashing through the wall of status quo. So my friends, I'm going to end this like I always do. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo and have a fantastic day. I'll see you all tomorrow.